What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with a little bit of Overwatch commentary, and today I'm actually going to be talking about something that has kind of helped me climb a little bit through the lower ranks of competitive, which is something I see people struggle with a little bit, and they wonder why they're not being able to improve, why they can't climb through the ranks, why they're having a hard time gaining SR, just a variety of things. And this is going to apply mostly to people who are in bronze and silver, and also in gold a little bit. Those are, gold and a little bit of lower platinum are the ranks I have the most experience with, but this is something I think will help a lot of people in the lower ranks climb out. So what we want to talk about today is playing your best hero. And I know in other videos I've mentioned how Overwatch is a team game. You have to work very well within that team in order to win when you're playing through competitive. But at the same time, if you want to get out of the lower ranks, there's a lot of people who have been stuck there for a long time who, quite frankly, are not very good at the game. Mostly down in the bronze and the silver levels. You have people who are like level 400 who are still stuck down in these game modes. And if you've been putting in that much time into the game and you can't climb out of the silver level, you're probably just either goofing around or just not very good. I'm not sure what the problem is. But if you have that much experience in Overwatch and you can't improve and get better, there's something going on there. But this is hopefully going to help you avoid stalling out in these lower ranks. So always pick your best hero when you're playing competitive, especially when you're in those lower ranks like bronze and silver. This is going to help you climb out quite a bit faster. And the reason for this is, a lot of the times, if you're the one who's trying to improve and trying to get better, you're going to have to carry a little bit of the load for your team. There's going to be times where you're playing on a team and maybe only 3 or 4 people are actually playing well. You might have someone on your team who's throwing. You might have someone on your team who's just simply not that good, or who's a bad tank or a bad healer, and you're just going to have to make up for that, whether by doing more damage or doing more healing if you're playing support. There's going to be a way for you to do that. And one thing you definitely want to take a look at is look at your win rates for certain heroes, and you can do this through one of the many Overwatch stat applications. You can do this by looking at your statistics in the game. You can click on each hero and see what your win percentage is in competitive, and then you can kind of see who you do well enough with. Now, you of course want to put a lot of games into this before you start using it as a way to judge your performance, but I'm going to use myself as an example here. This competitive season so far, I think I've put about 50 games in on Zenyatta. Now, I've played other heroes. I've played Lucio quite a bit. I've played Mercy quite a bit. I've played a good bit of Winston and Reinhardt. These are all heroes I'm fairly decent with. But when I look at it overall, and I look at my my win ratio, I have almost a 75% win percentage with Zenyatta through 50 games, and I think that's a pretty good baseline to determine that. Conversely, with Lucio, who I've played about 2.5 hours with this season, my win ratio is only about 30%, which is not good at all. Which surprises me a little bit because I have some of my better games when I'm playing Lucio. I'm always healing for 20,000 plus damage. I'm usually getting an in-game card. I'm usually getting gold medals and objective time and healing, and also normally up in the silver area for eliminations and objective eliminations, which tells me that the DPS on my team just really aren't doing their job. But Lucio seems to be my curse in Overwatch. Every time I play with him, I seem to have career games, and then it's all wasted because we still lose. And you may have that, maybe something you see in the game. You may have a character you're really, really good with, that you just can't win with for some reason. But for me, I noticed that my win percentage on Zenyatta is always really high, so I've just started to play him at the expense of everything else. I know sometimes that can't be fun when you get locked into one hero, but if you want to climb through the ranks, you're going to have to do that. So be selfish. I know I say it's a team game, but you're going to have to be selfish. If you have that hero that you're always winning with, that you have a really high win percentage with, and you play that hero over time, you're most likely going to have a much better win percentage, and you're going to climb up through the ranks and gain more SR. So really, just grab that hero. I don't care if you have to insta-lock them as soon as the selection comes up. I don't care if people are asking you to change off your hero. If you're playing well, there's no need to do so. So just, that's what I started to do. I just started locking in Zenyatta every single game. I've had people tell me, oh, he's not going to fit our comp very well. But then, I do a lot of healing and also get a lot of kills and assists with my Discord orb. So, it usually works out. Like I said, a 75% win percentage, that's 3 out of every 4 games. So that's pretty good. And just when I started to do that, when I started to just play him every game that I could, unless somebody else grabbed him early on, I noticed that I started to win quite a bit. And that, it carries over. My SR started to go up. I was able to climb. So I know you need to be flexible and know multiple heroes, and it's okay to switch sometimes, but if you want to climb from the lower ranks, you are definitely going to have to grab a hero that you're very effective with, that you have a high win percentage with, and just play them extensively. You're going to have to carry a little bit here and there, but you know, there's certain heroes you won't be able to do this with, certain support heroes. You're probably going to have to play a really powerful tank like Reinhardt, or a damage character like Soldier 76 or Pharah. Pharah is a great character if you can learn her to climb at the lower levels, because quite honestly, no one seems to be able to counter her at all. And she's in kind of a weird spot right now where she can really float outside of everyone's effective range in terms of the hit scan characters and just continue to lob damage in the team's direction. So oftentimes, if you're going to be able to effectively counter Pharah, it's going to take 2 or 3 people on the team working together to do so. So she commands a lot of attention. So if you can get really good with a Pharah, you can make a huge difference in games, especially in the lower ranks. What I've seen in Silver so far, and even Gold, no one even pays attention to her. She can just fly around kind of undetected and just continue to get kills and just take people down. So definitely grab a hero that you're really good with. Like I said, check those win percentages, find a hero you win a lot of games with, and just stick with that hero. That's going to carry you far. Eventually you're going to reach a spot where you plateau and you're going to have to improve your skills. And when that happens, you can start using other heroes and trying to learn them. But really, if you're trying to learn a hero, you want to be doing it in quick play or in the versus AI mode. You don't want to be doing that in competitive. You want to be playing competitive with a hero that you're fairly good with. So, once you learn 3 or 4 heroes and you go into competitive, figure out which one is going to let you win the most games. And you want to, of course, you want to have a good sample size on that too. You don't want to just play like 5 games and say, oh, I'm 4-1 with this character, that means I should play them all the time. You're going to have to play a good bit of games. If you're trying to improve, that's really not a big deal. These competitive seasons, especially if you're new to the game, you want to just kind of keep trying to improve and learn. And then once you get pretty good, you can start playing more seriously. So, for me, like Season 2 and Season 3 in competitive, since I was new at Overwatch, it was more of a learning experience for me. It was more of, I'm pretty good on these characters, but I'm also working on my skills and just how to play competitive in general. And then when Season 4 came around, now I'm taking Season 4 a little bit more seriously, and I've been able to climb pretty well, sticking to this formula and just using Zenyatta all the time and just about in every game, since I have the best win percentage with him. So that's just it, guys. And another thing, I was looking at that the other day. I was looking at all the games I had wasted on other characters who my win ratio on them is very low. It's at least another 20 or 30 games where I've played characters that I have a win ratio below 50%. And I kind of think to myself, how much higher would I be by now if I had just stuck with Zenyatta and played him just about every match? I'd probably almost be in platinum by now. And just to let you guys know where I'm at with this season, I'm actually in lower gold now already. I started at 1500 and I worked my way up to about 2200 and then had a little bit of a fall off back down to the low 2000s. But my goal this season is to try to work into platinum, and I think if I just keep playing my best character and being selfish and grabbing that pick right away and just sticking with it, you're going to lose a game here or there, but overall you're going to do pretty well with that strategy. So that's one just tip I wanted to give you guys for trying to get out of those lower levels. You can do it. You can get better. There is an escape. The games do get better. I know some of the teammates down on those lower levels are not so great, but just play your best, get your best hero, and just do what you can to help the team. And if you're playing really well, like I said, when I use Lucio and I play really, really good, we still seem to lose. If you have a hero like that, maybe you're going to have to switch and find another hero you can play effectively that's going to make a bigger difference, so to speak, in the game. Because there are some characters you can be really, really good with, but at the end of the day, you're not really helping out in the areas that a bad team needs in order to win the game. So you just have to do a little bit of experimenting. So anyways, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any other ideas and tips you want to give for some players in Overwatch who are struggling to get out of the bronze and silver ranks, help them level up a little bit, feel free to do so below. Try to make these videos to help out those types of players. I know there's a lot of people who can be like, oh, I'm Diamond and I'm Master, and your advice is terrible. And I get that, but hopefully people won't be like that, because the Overwatch community already is so very toxic. And I try to make more positive videos to help out the lower level people versus trying to just keep them down, which you see from a lot of better players in this community. So unfortunately, that's a problem Overwatch has, and I don't know if the competitive scene is going to get any better, but we need to see a lot of the veteran players be a little bit more helpful to some of the lower end people. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.